Glad to be speaking to your followers and just sharing what I know about Canadian immigration in a way that's easy for everybody to understand and approachable and, you know, grateful. That's how I'm feeling today, grateful.
Thank you very much. Today we are not going to go deep into details of explaining. I'll just give you the chance to introduce yourself and introduce the company, Kuva. Then also tell us what Kuva does. I shortlisted some of those things on the post on the flyer, and someone is wishing you a happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Esther, for your comments and happy
Yeah.
Mother's Day over there to you.
Yeah, we are people from different parts of Africa.
Wonderful.
I called upon some people from West Africa. So please, when you're asking the question, you put in your location, then you ask your question about Canada immigration. And I also told you this is a free space and it is a very respectful space. If you feel offended, you can inbox me and make sure we resolve out of the live. We want to be as professional as possible, and I'll be bringing each one of you up to make sure we ask those questions that you've been preparing. So, Mala, please go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And Alex, thank you always for including me. It's just, I'm so grateful to be able to share what I know with you and with, all of your followers and your friends. And of course, I'm looking forward to seeing you again in July. As Alex may have mentioned, I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I'm also a U.S. immigration attorney. I'm based right now in Vancouver, BC. And I'm actually an immigrant to Canada myself from the United States. And for the last, I don't know, however many years, I've been focusing my immigration practice on really reaching out to people that are not receiving real information. They may be working with agents, they may be working with people that hold themselves to be professionals, either in their home country or in Canada, and they're not really. So what I enjoy most is reaching people that may not always have access to real professional help, because I know that there are a lot of people out there that take advantage of those of you that are just wanting to come to Canada by any means necessary. But for me, I focus on first empowering people with the information, and then if they feel as if it's too much or they cannot do it on their own, we provide services, in a metered way, really as much as you need, is usually is my approach. So I'm grateful to be here. Looking forward to answering as many questions as we can. I'm also very transparent. If I don't know the answer, I got my iPad here, so I can look back in my files and look things up. And then if it's something that I truly can't answer online, then hopefully there'll be a way for us to connect offline with any lingering questions you may have that didn't get answered today. So thank you for all the comments, and happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. I'm glad to reach you today.
Thank you very much, Mala. And please tell us about what your company does, or is it company organization?
Yeah,
What it
sure.
does?
So, Cougar
You're mute.
Immigration,
Mute. I
yeah,
don't hear you.
yeah. So that's a great question. So the main thing that we focus on is providing professional immigration support for people that are inside Canada or wanting to come to Canada. Immigration support. And also, those of you that are wanting to go to the United States or come to the United States here. One thing that we don't do, or I keep separate, is we do have a company that places people in jobs, but that company operates separately. Now, it's important to note, not just through that agency, that we have, it's called Team Coover, by the way. We never take payment from applicants for jobs. And that's something that I want to make sure that everyone is on high alert about. At some point in Canada, it became normal for people to pay for a job, but that's really not the way it's supposed to work. If you have a good employer, they are looking for help, and in some cases, they will come to an agency like the one that I have that's separate and say they need workers. In that situation, they actually pay the agency directly to find the worker. And then they pay for their own LMIA processing, which is what's required to bring the worker into Canada. And they're responsible for flying the worker into Canada. Now, where our immigration firm would come in is we would process the work permit. Now that the worker is responsible for. And I still do a lot of work permit processing for those of you that already have job offers. But one thing that people notice, especially with our pricing for the work permit processing, you're not paying $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for a work permit. At max, the max that we have ever charged is $2,750. And that's usually for someone that's never worked in Canada. And that's usually for someone that's coming from a country that requires special exit clearances because of that country. But usually our work permit processing from inside Canada, if you're inside and you're extending your work permit, it's $1,000. So we try to keep it really reasonable. Outside Canada, it can be a little bit challenging to bring the person in. $2,750 is usually what we charge. We also process study permits. So I do quite a few study permits for students coming from certain countries in Canada. In Africa, actually. And people ask, what's your study permit pricing? 2,000 Canadian, paid in 2 installments. It does include your personal statement. So we take information from you. We write the personal statement. We prepare the submissions letter. Do all the application forms. We do not select schools. We do not get letters of acceptance. You would have to come to us with your letter of acceptance from the school and then proof of your financial backing, and we take it from there. But by and large, we do all immigration work except the one thing that we have stopped doing, which I know is maybe a popular one from certain applicants throughout Africa, is asylum and refugee. The reason is primarily the timeline is so long, and there's been a lot of recent changes to the asylum rules here, where Canada is making it much more difficult. But the work that I do really touches workers and visitors. We work with visitors as well. So everything else, pretty much except asylum and refugee law now. I used to do it. I don't do it now. And I can answer questions about that, but everything else we pretty much do in all of the United States immigration law. So,
Thank you very much. You talked about actually I got feedback from TikTok. These days it's so funny. Every time I sit in the car to do a live, as a quiet place, it kind of gives me notifications for violations. So I don't really I don't really understand if I'm not driving. Anyway, putting that aside, yeah, putting that
there it is.
aside, thank you very much for that elaborate and clear explanation. So, you talked about different pathways, and you specifically talked about someone coming through a work permit or LMIA. Are there other pathways people of African descent can utilize that are open for them? And I also would like to ask this alongside that, which is the easiest pathway? Because this is the very common question. Which is the easiest pathway for someone to use while coming here in Canada? Yes.
So I think a lot of it depends on who the person is. So, for example, one of my clients is a doctor from Ghana. and she is coming into Canada under express entry. So she didn't have a job offer at all. She is under the age of 30. She's obviously experienced, highly skilled, and she's coming into Canada under express entry. So I really hesitate to talk a lot about express entry because a lot of people are not qualified. However, it is something if all of these things align for you. If you are under the age of 30, you are fluent in English and or French, you have a master's degree or a doctorate degree. Actually, if you're single, that also helps you, single with no dependents. I would strongly suggest creating an express entry profile. Here's one thing to know, and a lot of immigration lawyers and consultants won't tell you this. It is absolutely free for you to go online and create an express entry profile. Doesn't hurt anything, okay? It gives you an opportunity to see whether you might be selected, invited to apply for permanent residency, depending on the field that you're in. So, for example, obviously, people that are nurses, doctors, highly needed in Canada. Also, people that are skilled engineers, people that are skilled in high technology. So, in terms of what the easiest pathway is for someone that's young, great language skills, educated, and have skilled work experience, I would say try express entry because it actually does work. The woman that I consulted with, she had done everything on her own. She had put her profile in and everything. She booked a consultation with me because she has a lingering family situation that she's trying to resolve and deciding how she's going to deal with and disclose that when she comes into the country. But she had done everything from start to finish, almost to finish, on her own. So that's one way. Everyone wants to come to Canada to work, and I appreciate that because, the work ethic of us people in Africa, from Africa, of the African diaspora is very well known. Like, we like to work and we work hard. But the key is finding a real employer that's going to go the distance of getting the approval, which is not easy. It's not easy. It's not impossible, but it's not easy getting that approval to be able to hire you. That's the main first step that people stumble on. And so then the question I always get is, how do you get an employer? I want to work. How do I apply? How do I do this? And the reality is, and Alex, you probably know this from being in Canada, a lot of it's based on who you know in terms of getting a job offer, a real job offer. Now, there are a lot of people online that are, doing fake hiring, and it's hard to know who's real because if you go on Job Bank Canada and you say, oh, this company's hiring, the reality is they are posting that job ad because they already have someone that they are hiring under the LMIA process. It is rare that I see an employer that has posted an ad online to hire a foreign worker and they don't know who that person is yet. Because I've been on the other side of this with many companies. I represent a lot of companies with LMIAs, and they get flooded with foreign applications, like hundreds, thousands of applications. So the last thing that they do is look in the inbox and say, oh, this person I want to hire. I have never seen that. That's the truth that no one wants to tell anyone. So how do you get a job? Unfortunately, a lot of the time it is based on a connection here inside Canada that knows someone that is hiring. And so, Alex, back to your question, in terms of the easiest way to get here, if you're wanting to work here and you have a friend or a relative that is here, they would be your primary means of making a connection, maybe to their employer, their friend, their brothers, so someone knows someone that's willing to go through that process. It used to be that I would say to people, come to Canada as a visitor. So you can come to Canada as a visitor, but the primary reason for doing that would be to make your own connections and then go back home and then start the hiring process from there. So there is no way to convert from visitor to worker. So I tell my clients that if you're wanting to do a visitor visa because you think it's going to lead to a work permit, not so fast. Okay? It won't happen that way. You have to go in eyes wide open, knowing that if you come as a visitor, it's really about your networking. Please plan to go ahead and go back home because Immigration Canada will not let you convert. And then if the other way for studying, as I mentioned, I do a lot of study permits. The key to a study permit is the finances. That's the number one priority that I have when I'm asking questions for someone that tells me they want to study in Canada. You got to have the money. You have to prepay your tuition for the full year. A lot of people say, oh, the school's only requiring a deposit of this amount. And I've seen people come to me after they did the minimum deposit. And what happens is they'll get refused because they haven't paid the full tuition. And also, you have to have proof that you can support yourself financially for 1 year in Canada without, anything. So I'm in the midst of doing a study permit right now. They have to have, it's one person, they have about $22,000, $23,000 on deposit in their name here in Canada. And also, they've prepaid their tuition for the year. So I tell people you need to have about at least 40,000 Canadian liquid to come here as a student. And 17 of that or so is going to be because of your international tuition. That's if you're coming alone. If you're coming with a spouse or children, then the amount you need to show Immigration Canada that you have to cover your expenses, it's going to be a little bit more.
Thank you very much for that. I think most of the people down there are hearing. So now you know where you belong. What I've learned here, my take is we are different. What I know is not a lot of Africans out there can afford that much money, especially that most of them are not because they are low income earners, but because they have other better priorities other than investing that money in travel. Yeah. So I would suggest that everyone chooses a pathway that is very comfortable for them, a pathway that is not going to make you get strained financially, so you don't have to lose a lot of money with that. So I have a question here. Can my education background from Africa be accepted in Canada? Let me give a brief preamble about this. I have people from Africa that want to come here, and these people have been told to go back to school and study a specific course, maybe home care, maybe special care, special needs care, maybe home nursing and the sort. Maybe some even go to real nursing. Will this education background back home help someone here if they get a right pathway to come here to Canada?
That's a good question. More than anything, Canada likes to recognize Canadian education. So, in terms of studying things like home care, nursing, personal support work, those courses are directly targeted, I would say, to working in Canada's healthcare support system. So, a lot of the time when I see foreign nurses, actually, a lot of foreign nurses come in to Canada through New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, as is, like with their existing nursing credential. But if you're going back to study, in your home country, a course in home care, personal support worker, nursing aid, I would say that that is most advantageous to getting a job in a nursing facility, in a care facility. That, that would be very helpful or desirable for those employers that are hiring from there. If you come and study that course in Canada, which a lot of people do, you have to be focused from day one on connecting with a nursing or a care facility from the time you start studying, because that, in most cases, will be your only pathway to getting a work permit or connecting with the community to get a job offer as a in-home caregiver. So that is a common pathway that I see. Whether it makes sense to do that upgrading back home in Africa, Canada is really, how shall I say, they prioritize Canadian education because they don't understand other countries. That's why. It's not that the education in the other countries is not up to par. In fact, that's often the opposite. But it could be the case. What would I do? Let me just think. If I am an employer and I'm hiring a care aide or a nursing assistant from overseas, in many cases, I would want someone to be overeducated for the job, meaning they hold a nursing degree, or they've come into Canada and they're a foreign student and they have a credential from a Canadian school. I don't know whether studying home support, personal support, something that's maybe a 1 or 2 year degree in their home country would put them at an advantage with a Canadian employer for that type of degree. Now, if it's a bachelor's in nursing, then that degree in itself is a very strong one on its own.
Thank you very much for that. At least you've been so clear. I'm seeing a lot of people here asking a lot of questions. So I'm going to open up this chat for questions, and we are going to make sure we use only this 1 hour. I don't know how much time you have, but I know it's early morning and it's a Sunday. Most people want to do personal businesses and the sort. So I would really want to ask this one question, and then let's go to open questions, and we are going to be limited with open questions. But before I go to my own question, there is someone here, Danny. I don't know if he say he or she, but they say currently out of status, but my PR application is still pending. Been over a year, I got married. What do you advise such a person?
Okay, so I guess my question for Danny is, did you apply under spousal sponsorship? Which stream did you apply under? Let's see what Danny says.
Danny, can you come up?
Yeah. Danny, you did spousal sponsorship.
Directly.
Okay, so you're being sponsored by a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, correct? And you filed that application from inside Canada, obviously. So Danny, hey Danny.
Oh, mute
Hello.
your sound. Mute
Good
your
morning.
sound, please.
Good morning. Good morning. So Danny, here's what I want to know. What was your status before you filed this application?
I was a student.
You were a student. And so
Yeah.
when you filed this application, you didn't do anything to your temporary status at all. You didn't change your temporary status.
No, I didn't change it. I was still in school when I got married and I filed for my PR.
Okay. So, okay. And you filed for your PR, your spouse sponsored you. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. And when your study permit expired, you didn't change to visitor record or anything.
No, I haven't changed to anything. I'm still just waiting.
Okay. So obviously I'm not your consultant, but let me just tell you what I would suggest if I were. Okay. I deal with this a lot. So the key is try to get back in status as quickly as you can. And here's how you might consider doing it. Again, you might want to talk to me offline, but I recently had someone who's been out of status for 2 years, married to a Canadian. She just got her work permit. It was when I was in Toronto that she got her work permit last week. So what we did is we showed proof that the spousal sponsorship application was in process, and we applied for an open work permit based on that, even though she was out of status, and she got it. Okay, so it is discretionary, but the key is to act on it, even though it's been a long time, as quickly as possible. An ideal situation would have been when you filed that spousal sponsorship application, file a visitor record or something to keep yourself here. But at that point, maybe you didn't realize you could have at that point filed an open work permit before your study permit expired. You could have filed to change your status from student to worker based on your permanent residency application already being in. I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
What is the status of your PR application? Like, what's the latest communication you've received?
I've literally done everything. I did the biometrics
Oh,
last year, October, November, yeah, like August, last year, August.
okay. Okay, so it has progressed. So at this point, I would say it would be a good idea to file something to get yourself in status. They may not give you a visitor record because it's clear you're not visiting. You know, you're going to be here permanently. But if you filed for inland processing, I can't guarantee anything on your case, but in the cases I've done before where someone's out of status, we have been able to get them that open work permit. And one of my clients was out of status in Canada for a number of years, a guy from Jamaica, and he got married, and we filed his spousal sponsorship, and he's a PR now. Now we're processing his son to bring his son in. So what I will tell you is that it's really difficult for them to refuse the spouse or common law partner of a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, unless you have a criminal history, terrorist background, things like that. However, I do think it's important that you at least show them that you're trying to get yourself right in terms of your temporary status. And it's not too late to do it if you start today.
Thank you very much, Mala. I have a lot of people that really want to come up. And
Okay.
if you're down here, Danny, I hope
Sure.
you've been helped. I
Yeah, I have a
request that
question. I wanted to ask
for
how could I get to you after the live so that we
Oh,
could
okay.
talk
exactly, yeah.
offline.
Okay. Yeah. I think Alex may put my profile maybe in your comments, Alex, so that people can direct message me, or however, Alex, I'll let Alex take care of that, how he sees fit.
Okay.
Or all
Okay.
right. You can also follow the account, so it's easy for you to communicate.
Okay,
And
Yeah.
I
because
will
you
just
follow
send you a
me,
direct message
Yeah, you
then.
can send me a direct message.
yeah,
Thanks,
that
Danny.
would work better. Thank you very much, Danny, and I'm so happy that you came up and did that. If you're ready to come up, please come. Tell me so I can link you up so you can come. I just can't put up a lot of people at once. Danny, can you come down, please? Thank you very much. So whoever is ready, please tell me I'm ready. Then I can bring you up. Otherwise, I can't just keep touching people's accounts to make sure they come. I'm only bringing those people that are really ready. Okay, Dallas King, you're ready. I'm going to bring you up. Okay. And please ask the question fast so we can use as little time as possible. Thank you very
Hello.
much.
Hi.
Good evening, madam.
Good to see you.
It's a good evening this side. I'm sorry.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, madam. So my name is Didas,
Hi, Didas.
calling from Dubai.
Hi.
So I was asking if I'm in Dubai and apparently I want to I want to apply for an abortion certificate. Then I study it. Could this help me get a Canadian visa?
If you apply for, you said a birth certificate?
An abortion certificate, safety engineering. Like
Oh,
what?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, like a safety engineer in terms of your work?
Yeah.
Okay. Your first step in terms of getting into Canada is looking, well, I shouldn't say looking for jobs, but having a connection that can help you find a job. Now, tell me what type of work you do in Dubai.
The type of work I'm in construction.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
like I want to apply for an abortion certificate so that I get to become a safety engineer.
Okay. So here's what I'm seeing in Canada.
Yeah.
You're highly qualified as an engineer. So different pathways for you. A lot of the time, you might be hired as a project engineer, right?
Yes.
Something that, so it might be like a bit of a step down, or even, I dare to say, as a construction laborer to get into the country. That might be something. Now, your credentials, may I ask you a question? Are you under the age of 30 or over the age of 30?
I'm on 27 right now.
27. Okay. And what's your education right now to date? Do you have a university degree?
No.
No.
I just have a certificate of senior 6.
Okay, so high school.
High school.
Okay. So the reason I ask is because usually for at your age, if you had more education, you might be able to apply, at least submit your profile for something called express entry. The other option I would say at your age, which might be more costly, definitely more expensive, is to come in as a student because you're still relatively young, where it would make sense for you to come here and do your full studies. But it might be less expensive to do that overseas and then apply or look for work through a contact here. But based on what you're telling me, I would say work as a construction laborer in Canada, not necessarily in Ontario, but there are projects going on all throughout Canada, usually in the remote areas, the pipelines. I don't staff any of those jobs. And Alex, maybe we can talk another time on how we can better help people to connect with real employers or point them in the right direction on how to look for real jobs. Because Canada definitely needs a lot of laborers, and I've brought in a lot of workers that are going to real jobs. But there's a certain way that you have to find them, and it's usually through a connection here inside the country.
Yeah, sure. So I'm following the page now. So I will contact you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. Stay in touch. Hey, I want to come to Dubai once everything settles out with this war. So,
Dubai is so good. Maybe actually just because of the summer is too hot. The Dubai is too hot. just
Oh,
like that, but it has no problem.
I got to get over there though. There's a lot of good
She
people.
can handle. She's of African descent.
Yeah, I can handle it.
Yeah.
I'm not from Canada. Canada's cold to me, so I can handle the heat.
So you can come and enjoy it.
Okay.
All right, Didas. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
Thank you,
Didas.
much.
Thank
madam.
you, Didas.
Yeah, please go down so we can have Ruby. Please, Ruby,
Okay,
ask your
sure,
question.
sure.
Thank you.
Hi, Alexander. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Ruby.
I'm in Uganda currently. Well, I met a guy over online, and he seems to be so serious. So, he was planning to invite me to go and visit him.
Hmm.
So, he's going to send me an invitation letter. How is it going to work for me?
Okay. So he's a Canadian?
Yes, he's a
Okay.
Canadian.
And you met online, whereas kind of you're kind of starting a relationship, something like that?
Yes.
Okay. And he's inviting you. What is he planning to say to Immigration Canada? What the relation? Okay, let me back up here. I'm going to be the expert on this. Getting a visa to come visit someone you might have a relationship, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, is very difficult from day one, because Immigration Canada doesn't have a fiance visa or anything like that, like the United States does. Number one. Number two, they think it's highly likely if you come into the country to visit someone that you're dating online that you're probably not going to go home. You're going to get here, get married, and try to file for your permanent residency, which is not, a bad pathway. Immigration Canada doesn't want that. If you're going to come in, they want the relationship to be fully established, so much so that you're already married. They're going to look all the way through this situation from the beginning. The only way that I have seen it work, and I'm not suggesting that this is a way to misrepresent or, not comply with Immigration Canada. I have seen people invited as business visitors, for example, if they're working for the business or a consultant and they happen to be the boyfriend or the girlfriend, I've brought people in that way. But the primary focus was on the fact that the person was coming to Canada for business meetings, and it was proven and established. But the hard truth is, it's very difficult for someone to tell the truth in that situation, which is what, I can appreciate what he's wanting to do and you're wanting to do and write that invitation letter. But at some point, Immigration Canada is going to say, come on, this is your girlfriend. Nope. And that's going to be an easy no for them. That's what I've seen professionally.
Yeah,
So,
because I remember I
mhm.
even tried to explain him about it, because I've been listening to Alexander in most cases whenever I see him online, even if he posts even a mere video, I really take my time and listen to it.
Yeah.
I try to explain to him, oh, I just come over like a business partner, like something like that, like I'm coming over to visit, tour, like I want to invite you by myself. So I thought maybe there is a way it's gonna work out in a certain way. Maybe he knows some lawyers over there or something like that. But if you explain to me in that case, I literally get it.
Yeah. Unless maybe, you would have to have a reason to be in Canada on your own, a close relative or, here in Canada. Do you have any relatives in Canada?
Yeah, I have my cousin brother.
Your cousin?
Yeah.
Yeah. That might not be close enough. And what country are you from again?
I'm from Uganda.
You're from Uganda. Yeah. Here's what I will tell you. Immigration Canada will take your money like a slot machine. If you want to put the application in, they pull the lever. I'm just telling you, when the numbers spin, it's likely to be a refusal. But I'm not Immigration Canada. Could you get an officer that has mercy and says, look, I'm gonna let this one through? Possibly. But my job is I always tell people, here's the worst case scenario. And then we work backwards from there. Worst case scenario, he files an application for you. It gets refused for visitor. It's not like you're damaged, forever coming into Canada. If the relationship is a real one, what they would want to see is some progression. And then if you're both able to marry freely, then they would want him to go to Uganda, marry you, file to bring you back as a permanent resident.
That's what I was trying to explain to him. It's better for him to come over here and we do more about it.
100%. 100%.
I think I wanted to forward back your account so he can listen to some of your videos, because you usually talk about this all the time.
He can call. He can call our office if he's inside Canada. Phone number is listed. Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. He can call the office. And almost always it may take me a day or two to call back, but I call back and I'll tell him what I just told you.
Thank you so much. I do really appreciate it. And thank you, Alexander, as well.
Nice
You're
to
welcome,
talk to you, Ruby.
please. Thanks, Ruby. Please take care and be careful with your life. Yeah. I'm happy that you came here and aired that. And I'm happy that you're always following and listening to my videos. I'm so happy about that. Thank you. Okay. Now, Ruby, you can go down. Before Gongo comes up, how much time do we still have? Because I don't want to go beyond your time.
Let's go for about 30 more minutes. How's that? Does that work?
Hey, okay. Yeah, that's people down would be clapping right now and sending all the gifts they have to you if I were them. Okay, Junior, ask a question very fast, then let's go.
Hello, Madam Mara.
Hi, Junior.
That is my uncle, Mr. Alex. Let me first appreciate him. You know, he born me, so he became my uncle. Whenever I see his live, I first salute him, Uncle Alex. Hello. So I'm happy to hear from you. I'm called Junior Gong. I'm from Uganda.
Nice.
My question is a quick one.
Sure.
I've applied for a Canadian visa I think twice.
Okay.
My first application was 2020. It was 2023. After the lockdown, then again I had to put in an application in 2024.
Okay.
But the outcome that comes in, they say I don't have a legitimate business purpose. So
okay.
So, Madam Mara, I want you to explain me what should I do if because this time around, for the last year I didn't put in, but trust me, this year, God willing, I'm an African descent. God willing, I have to meet Uncle Alex for sure.
Yeah.
And I have to give him a big hug. I can't wait to see him. So if I put in a visa, what should I do? Because I got the GCM notes, I got them, I read them. So what should I do, Madam Mara? That's my question.
Okay, so good question. So are you planning to come to the African Descent event this summer?
Course,
is that what I mentioned?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do back home for work?
I deal in logistics.
Okay. So in your application, a couple of things. The number one thing that they're focused on is the fact they think that you're going to come here and try to stay and not go back. So what they want to see is, I call it a stickiness factor. Stickiness means you come to Canada, but something is sticky and pulling you back home to Uganda. So that could be your existing job. And the way that you would show that is that you are gainfully employed, you're being paid for your work right now. There's a letter from your employer confirming that you're still working and that you are authorized to take a vacation, I would apply for a visa for a short period of time, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, no more than 1 month for sure. So that Immigration Canada knows that you really intend to come for a specific business purpose. Obviously, include a personal statement as to why you want to come to this conference, and then all of the documentation from that you can find online about, you know, the conference dates, that it's real and why, and how you're going to go back home. Are you coming as a participant, or I mean, Alex,
No.
maybe you know more.
I'm coming as the delegate.
Oh, you're coming as a delegate.
Yeah, international delegate from Mr. Alex.
Okay.
He should be
I'm
welcoming me at
not
the
trying
airport.
to I'm not trying to put a lot of pressure on Alex, but a letter from Alex confirming, you know, your role as a delegate. As much proof as you can get from the Canadian side, endorsement that you can get from the Canadian side, the better.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So,
you've been refused, you said 2 times now?
yeah, because they give me the reason they gave me, they always tell me you don't have a legitimate business purpose in Canada. So what does it mean? That's all. That's the reason they give me. Two times now.
Okay. So I would say that they don't think maybe your purpose of coming to the conference is really a strong one.
Legit.
And so you would need to prove all of the things that, you know, I would say a detailed statement as to how attending this conference will help you when you go back. Everything should be about when you will go back. And then an endorsement letter from, and this goes for anyone that's listening. If you're coming here and you're coming for a business purpose, Immigration Canada's like, okay, that's great, prove it.
Okay.
So it's all about the proof that you present. They won't take just words. Here's what I say I'm going to do. Screenshots. Here's the calendar. Here's the list of events. I'm a delegate here. I'm attending this.
Okay, Madam Mara. Uncle Alex muting.
Please just go down.
Okay.
Then I'll call you back when our guest is out, so we can discuss this into to the details. Because I want to tell everyone out there that when you're denied a visa, there is always a reason why you're denied, and if you don't follow up on that very reason and you keep reapplying, it's going to bring the same results. I would suggest that everyone that has been denied once or twice, please consult a certified immigration expert like Mala, so you can get like real hand-on information. They look into your past and make sure everything that you're presenting this time around for your better shot is the best that you can offer. Otherwise, there are lots of things out there that we are putting into these applications and they're not even necessary. You only need to, like, it is just the same word she keeps giving you. You need to prove beyond reasonable doubt that when you come here, you're going to go back home. That's very, very important. So please, Junior, go down. We shall talk later. Let's have Blessed ask the question.
Thanks, Junior.
Okay, Blessed, you're next, please.
I think she's on mute. Let's see.
Blessed, can you unmute?
Hello.
Ask your question. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, good morning, Madam Mara and Alex.
Hi. Good evening.
Hello.
How are you?
Nice to hear from you.
Yes.
Okay, apparently I'm working in Dubai,
Okay.
but I would like to get a connection in Canada. I would like to work in Canada as a caregiver. Can you
Okay.
please, or would you please help me with that?
Okay.
Maybe a connection.
Right. So, here's what I can do. I can tell you how people get work in Canada. The caregiver pathway right now is closed, okay, for people from the outside. So that's what I will tell you. The best way to get into Canada, well, first let me ask you, what do you do for work in Dubai?
I'm working as a caregiver still.
Oh, you're working as a caregiver in Dubai. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and what's your background, your education background?
Senior 4.
Okay, that means at high school, right?
Yeah.
So, in terms of the caregiver pathway, the one that actually is still open is if you were to go to Quebec. So, that pathway remains open for people from the outside that are looking for work as caregivers.
Okay.
The other option would be perhaps working in a care facility, but they might require that you have more schooling than you do. So
Alright.
if I were you, I don't have any connections to offer, like in terms of jobs, right? So what I can say is, do you have any family members here in Canada?
Not really. No. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it might be worth, and I don't know whether there's any job circles online, but your best option would be Quebec because
Okay.
they're still able to hire caregivers from outside Canada. The rest of
Okay.
Canada right now is locked down under the caregiver program. It's not open.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Nice to
I'll
talk
keep
to you.
I'll keep in touch with Bro Alex then for more details. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
God
Alex,
bless.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Blessed. And if you're ready to come up, please say I'm ready. Then I can bring you up. When you come, please ask less questions so you can just make follow-ups in Mala's inbox. She's a kind of person that replies very, very fast. So just rest assured. Okay, Cosma, let's go.
Hey,
Hi.
Hello.
greetings, Madam.
How can I help?
Greetings, Madam Mara.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Yes,
I can
Cosma,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Greetings, Madam Mara. Greetings, Mr. Alex.
Hello, how are you, Cosma?
So, what I'm asking, there was a program called Provincial Nominee Program. I want to know, was it stopped or is it still existing?
Which program?
Provincial Nominee Program.
Oh, yes, the provincial nominee programs do exist still. Every province has their own.
So, what can I do such that
Where are you located?
okay, currently right now I'm in Dubai, but I'm from Uganda.
Okay, you're in Dubai. So, and what do you do for work?
I'm doing housekeeping.
Okay, you're doing housekeeping in a hotel or
Yeah, in a hotel, but I have customer service certificate.
okay, a customer service certificate and then high school education.
Yes.
Okay. Most provincial nominee programs that are the most, as I would say, aggressive about hiring from, I'm looking up my iPad now, from outside Canada are usually in Eastern Canada, like Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, like those areas where they have a really tough time of getting workers. So what I'm looking now is to see if there, let's see, any housekeeping. That wants a BCPMP, well, not any PMP. Let me ask you a question. I'm assuming you haven't taken a language exam or anything like that.
Yes.
You have taken a language exam.
Exam?
Have you taken a language exam for Canada ever?
Language exam? No.
No, okay. Just give me a moment, Kusma. And you said, are you working in a hotel right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, um, so right now, so British Columbia, I know you did have a stream that was open for housekeeping, hotel housekeeping, if you were already here and had a job offer. So if I'm really being, I guess, really looking at your realistic chance of coming in under PMP, that is a permanent residency stream. And I would say it's too soon to be looking at that. The first thing that you would want is to get connected with an employer here that can offer you an LMIA and bring you in under a work permit to work in the hospitality industry here. I would say the easier places to focus on where they're going to be most aggressive about hiring are still those same areas I mentioned. Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, maybe Saskatchewan. Like these are areas that they have a hard time hiring people. Now, the key is getting connected with a legitimate employer. And oftentimes, most times that's not through an agency, to be honest. Most times it's through someone that you know or someone that you know that knows someone in Canada. Because if you go through an agency, you risk the job not being real, and you also risk paying a lot of money just to get here. So step one for you would be to, well, let me just ask the question on step one. Do you know anyone inside Canada personally?
No, I don't know anyone except
You don't know anyone inside Canada. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I suppose you could try the job boards, but the best way is obviously if you know someone who knows someone. And that the reason is it will set you apart from the thousands of people that are applying to these employers. It doesn't mean that you can't apply to employers directly, but in your case, I probably would avoid an agency if you could, unless it's a legitimate Canadian-based agency that's licensed and gives you direct access to the employer. But I think Alex and I maybe, we'll try to do a session specifically on this topic because this is a difficult stumbling block that a lot of people face. And if you don't get it right, you risk losing a lot of money and not getting here on top of that. That's a good question though, Kusma.
apart from housekeeping, are there other sectors?
Other
Like
sectors?
yeah. Like
Yeah. I would say, truthfully, your best bet is to stay in housekeeping, or maybe, you could work as an orderly at a nursing facility. But switching over to being a laborer is probably not going to, be any faster for you. Housekeeping itself is still a very in demand if it's hotel housekeeping. Still in demand in Canada. The key is getting connected with the right employer.
So how can I get connected with employers without knowing anybody in Canada?
That's a very good question and a long question. So I think we're going to have a follow-up on that one because, it looks different for everyone based on where you're going, what type of work you do. And the key is to avoid being scammed. So legitimate job boards.
Yes.
And I prefer to see
Very
people
true.
that have a
Thank you.
connection here. But yeah, Alex, maybe you and I
Yeah,
can talk about doing something meaningful on this topic, just completely
yeah,
separate.
for sure. For sure, we shall look into that and make sure we create a session that is strictly tailored to that, because I've realized a lot of people are into that, into getting directly employed here. So I think we shall look into that under of course cover immigration, because I can't do this alone, and I need someone solid like you to really give this information. I've been having a lot of challenges with people losing a lot of money through agencies.
Yeah.
So like you said, I wouldn't want to risk any Ugandan. Mala, do you realize I started in the Middle East in Abu Dhabi. Yeah,
Okay.
for 4 years. So I know the pain we go through to get this money.
Right.
I know a lot of people there that are still there suffering, even after all these years. And I'm so happy that at least I can do something to make sure people focus and put their money where it is supposed to go. So that's why I always refer to you and one other immigration consultant in the UK for the people for the Europe cases. So someone was asking here about questions, European questions. Please, we are focusing on Canada strictly, and we shall go to the US side because Mala here is also a big person in the US. So if you're in the US and you need to ask a question, you can come up and ask. So without wasting a lot of time, please let me have only this person up to ask the question. Then we can follow up later. Whoever is interested in talking to Mala, please go to www.coverimmigration.com so you can get the information there, or you can ask for consultation. Then you can go directly to the inbox. This is the kind of person that answers back immediately, or when they're on time, they will always answer you back. So let's be clear. Nyamgobra Interiors, yes. Please ask your
Yes, sir.
question.
Yes.
Then, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity. For my case, I've applied to Canada 3 times, and there's been a denial of financial status. That is the reason they have given. So I really even get scared, even if I try to do my financial support, but they are always denying basing on financial support. So I don't know what I can do to maintain so that I can get a visa, because necessarily I wanted to travel and do more research, especially in the real estate, because that's where I'm based, not necessarily to stay in Canada. Yeah.
Okay. That's a good question. So sorry you're going through that. It's not uncommon. My question is, so you're applying for a visitor visa. Who are you coming to visit?
I've been always applying to come to conference.
Okay. And then what do you do for work right now?
I'm in real estate.
Your real estate. So are you own your own corporation? You work, you're self-employed?
Yeah, I have a company.
Okay. When
And
you're
I'm one of the directors.
applying, yeah, when you're applying, and maybe you're already doing this, you can let me know, including proof that your business is open, validly existing, and transacting business is key.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So for your business, are you able to show, deposits going into the business account, like recent deposits showing your business is active?
I've done that and I do that.
Okay. And for your bank statements, how far back did you go when you presented your bank statements?
I did 3 months.
Okay. I would go back even further as far as possible. Here's what they're looking for. Oftentimes, people will show a sudden lump sum deposit into their account that's not explained, rather than show a history of stable income. Because what Immigration Canada wants to know is that you're financially sound, that you're not going to come to Canada and be tempted to work illegally. And so what they want to see is a history, a financial history, as far back as you can go, that shows that you have a constant stream of income, that you're financially secure. So sometimes, if it's possible, also get a certificate from the bank, an actual bank certificate. That could help. Also, if you have any assets, land assets, property, you can include those as well. The primary reason for you to come to Canada, is it to attend the conference, you said?
True.
Okay. Do you have any family members that are here?
No, I don't.
Okay. So more than anything, your finances are going to have to be what backs you up. So the bank statements, proof that your business is actively transacting, that you have income, and a list of any assets would be what I would present.
Yes, I do have other assets. I have land. I'm married. I have kids.
Okay.
Family person. Yeah.
So when you're applying, are you including proof that you're married?
Yeah.
And what about the kids' birth certificates?
Yeah. All those are presented.
Okay, to
They're
show that
on
you
the
have a
original.
reason to return back to where's home again?
Uganda.
Uganda. Okay. So it could be that, I don't know what amount you have on deposit. If they feel like the amount is too low, that could be a reason. Also, for them, depending on the cost of the trip, they may be saying to themselves, now, why would he spend this much money to come to Canada to go to a conference, knowing the value of that money back home in Uganda? So they do look at things like that. They look at, does it make sense if this person's coming on a short visit to invest this much money? And then they come to the conclusion, sometimes they feel as if this person is investing this much money just to put their feet on Canadian soil and try to stay, rather than go back. Because otherwise, they would say it makes no sense for someone to put all this money onto a trip unless it's expected to be a one-way trip. You see? That's the way they look at it.
That could be true.
Yeah.
But we're always looking for new ideas which would also help to adjust on what we are
Right.
doing, because
What I'm going to tell you is that, first of all, your application, when you've been refused, goes back to that same officer, almost always.
yeah.
And so that officer, when they look at the application, they're like, oh, here's the application again. Did they give me anything new? Nope, refuse. Do they give me anything new? Refuse. They're just looking. They have to be convinced that you have enough money to go on this trip, that it's not going to bankrupt your family, take money away from your kids. It's going to have to make financial sense for your family for you to go and return back. If it doesn't make financial sense for your family for you to go, then they're going to assume that it's a one-way ticket and that you're going to get here and file some type of status or try to. And it's going to be hard to get you to leave. That's what they're assuming from the very beginning. So with visitors, they're always concerned that you're going to come and file asylum. And it's the data that shows it. It's not anything personal. It's just their artificial intelligence tells them this person has a 85% likelihood of filing asylum once they get into Canada. And their job is to keep you out if it says that, unless you can really convince them that they're wrong from the very beginning, which would mean, showing that your business is doing so well, there's no way you would abandon it for
That
Canada.
is true. But now our system is not the way your system is, that most of the financial transaction is a bank. Because even when I deposit money, you find you may not be like the reason, because like you're paying people, you're not using your account. Like if I'm paying people, I use my account to pay the money to move from the account to the account. You understand?
Yeah.
So it is like the account could be personally run by you, the director or the owner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that even when you're making payments to the workers, you always. So at times maybe we lack that direct info, which will do it. Directly explain that this business runs like this, like this, like this, like this.
Yeah.
Those are some of the challenges with our accounts.
Yes. So your job is to prove everything that you say is true, because they're not bringing you in for an interview and they don't want to spend a lot of time on your application, because for them, time is productivity is money. So the quicker you can make it clear to them that this is how the transactions work, the better. A lot of the time, you're going to get someone that is what I call a subject matter expert, a country expert. So there's someone that's reviewing the application, that's reviewing all of the applications from Uganda, right? So they're very familiar with what things look like, what the bank statements look like, how payments work. But still, consider yourself explaining it as if the person is 5 years old. So when I compile, and this is a key point, for anyone that's doing an application for Canada, organize it. Don't just submit a stack of bank statements or forms and expect the officer to know what that means. Cover sheet that says, I'm presenting this to show this. I'm presenting this to show this. This is my title of land, which shows that I own here. Here's this shows that I am actively transacting business as a reason as to why I'm going to go home. These are the birth certificates of my children and marriage certificate of my wife to show that I have a family that I will be returning to.
That is true.
Okay, for lack of time, we are very happy to have you here. Please, if you want more of this consultation, go to Mala's inbox. I know she's going to be busy for this weekend, probably, and the rest of the week. So please go. Even those that are down that didn't get a chance to come here, please go to her inbox, ask. And if you can't get hold of her, I'll give you a special treat where you can just write to the website or to direct. Then the whole you get like the whole buffet direct for you. So thank you very much. Can I have Carol come up and ask the question very fast, so we can really close this session. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much.
And good morning, ma'am.
Hi, Carol.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a question. My question is I'm self-employed in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just want to find out, did I have any better chance of pathway to permanent resident
Tell
as a
me
self-employed?
about, yeah. So tell me about what you mean when you say you're self-employed. And first question is, what, okay, I have a lot of questions for you.
Yeah, that'll
What
be
type
fine.
of permit are you holding? How did you
Okay.
come into Canada and how are you self-employed?
Okay. Yeah, I come because my wife, yeah, she's here to school. So we came as
Okay.
a family, and I'm on open work permit.
Okay.
And she's graduated, she's working now. And I also apply for extension of permit, so I still have valid permit.
Okay.
And we are in Ontario. I work for, my background is a construction as an engineer. So I work for some couple of construction company, which is not going down well because we are young, because of the snow, we need to break, fall on EI,
Yeah.
and it's not helping. So I just want to move to self-employed. And she's on a roll, she wrote for PR or she applied for PR. I just want to, because the way the system is tight now, I just want to use the opportunity. What can I do to also have another pathway for myself, which maybe in case of anything, hair does not work, my side will work.
Okay. Good question. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're asking this because a lot of the time, the spouse of the
Mhm.
principal applicant can be the one that brings everybody to permanent residency.
Yeah.
Here's what I will say: when you're self-employed, it's you don't get credit for your work experience a lot of the time because Immigration Canada wants a third party to verify that you actually were working.
Okay.
Unless I've seen it in cases where you have a corporation and you work for the corporation and you're payrolled and other people are payrolled. Like if you told me you have a construction company here in Canada, which you would be allowed to do actually. You have a construction company, you're on an open work permit, you're working for that company, other people are working for that company. That might be a way. In BC, there could we have there's like things for entrepreneurs as well, depending on the stream.
Mhm.
So there are different pathways, but I'm not sure whether you would have enough time to develop all of those.
Yeah.
How much time do you have left on your work permit?
Let's say maybe 1.5 years from now.
Okay. And you said your wife, you said she's applied for permanent residency or she's done the OINP expression of interest?
Yeah, she done a OISP, she done a ready because we're in north side of Thunder Bay. So we have a ready.
Okay.
Yeah, she's in that pool and she's about 3 express entering Ontario nomination before the ready.
She
That's
got
it.
the Ontario nomination?
She's not been selected, but she's in a pool. Like
She's
she's
in
in
the
a,
pool. Okay, she's in the
yeah.
pool. And what's her work?
Yeah, she's a teacher assistant. They call it SSP. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Hmm. And yeah, so you're self-employed doing construction, you said?
Yeah, I'm doing engineering services because I take
Okay.
a contract from a consultants company, which work for Hydro One, and I
Yeah,
do it myself. Yeah.
okay. I like, first of all, I'm going to say I like what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's why I'm trying to figure this out because not to talk too much about my pathway, but when I came as an immigrant, I did have a job for a little while, but I have built everything from the ground up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
as an
that's
immigrant. So I do believe in coming in and as quickly as you can, starting to do your own thing. Obviously, not being a permanent resident, that's going to loom large because you want to
yeah,
have your status and not have
yeah,
this all disappear
yeah.
after. What I would recommend, if you're open to it, you might want to do a one-on-one consultation with me just so that we can build it out.
Okay.
Not because I can't answer it here, but I have a lot of ideas of things that, I'm actually very interested in this because I
Yeah,
love
I
the
called
whole
you.
business building, you
Yeah,
know?
that's true. I called you some is it a month ago through you
You
online.
did?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
follow you on Facebook. I follow
yeah,
you on TikTok. Yeah, I called you some month ago, but it doesn't go through. I don't know why. I tried several times.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So Maybe I can contact Alex or follow you back and
You can
take it from
contact
there.
me, but if you want to do like a one-on-one consultation, we do charge for that.
I know.
But you would get me one-on-one on Zoom, and then you would get a follow-up, and I would really want to dig in on what is a way that you could use your business to
Okay.
help you with permanent residency, because I
Okay.
know they don't like when you're self-employed, because then everyone
Yeah.
is saying they're self-employed, and how do they
Yeah.
verify it, right?
Yeah.
It could just be you pretending to payroll yourself in. But the fact that if you like get things like contracts going, I'm just telling you, I have a client who's in the hairstyling business and have opened before they became permanent resident, like locations. So there are things,
Yeah.
but I would want to speak with you about like the timeline, because you don't have that much time.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
to figure out whether it's realistic versus me saying, you know what, Carol,
Yeah.
this isn't going to work. Go take a job. I would
Yeah.
rather.
Because now I'm so confused because I'm a project manager by profession. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
getting. Yeah. I'm not getting a project. It is what it is, because if you're trying to get a job here, it's very difficult.
I know.
They based on their own criteria, I don't know, but I work for construction company. They promise to. I roll on with them for a year, and they promise to give me a permanent, which end of the year does not happen. I said, no, let me go on my own way, because I'm sacrificing myself. What I'm doing, I'm not supposed to do that and
Where
things
are
are
you
not working.
located in Ontario?
Not the north side, on Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Tend to be.
Yeah.
Is that anywhere near Barrie or Aurelia or?
Oh, Barrie is closer to Toronto. I'm
Okay.
far on the north side, close
Okay.
to
See,
Winnipeg.
you can tell I'm an immigrant. I have no idea where anything is.
Yeah, I'm very close
Okay.
to Winnipeg.
I
Yeah.
just have an idea, because I actually know an employer in the construction industry. They're closer to Barrie or Aurelia. They're always looking for good people. And when you said,
I'm open up. If you can give me a reference, I'm open up anywhere to go. Any part of Canada, I'm open up.
okay,
Yeah.
I might have a contact for you.
Okay.
Just like, because you have an open work permit, and I know
Yeah.
you said you have a project management background, we can take this offline, but
Sure.
I'm happy to make that connection if you would be willing to relocate.
I'm willing.
I'm not an agent in this regard. I do their immigration work, so I
I
know.
know.
Yeah.
I know. I
Yeah.
follow you a lot, so I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So another question I have is it possible to change our consultants for immigration? My wife have one.
100%.
Okay.
So here's one thing to know. You can have multiple consultants.
Okay.
Some of my clients do, like they're big companies, I might do the LMIAs, someone else is doing, other piece of it. You can have as many consultants as you want. You can hire, fire, remove people. You are the boss. So your wife is the boss of her applications. You're not tied to anybody. I even tell my clients, I'm like, if you want to be able to update your application every day on your own, I can be in the background and you can remove me. No problem. Right?
Okay.
So your wife is the boss of her
Okay.
application.
Yeah. So that's all for now, because I'm so confused, and I'm planning whether to go to truck driving or I don't know. So I'm just so confused. So if you help me for a job, I'll be very grateful. Yeah.
Well, let's just see. Like, it might be worth just having the conversation.
Yeah,
Where
sure.
I'm from the deep south of the United States, and they say, hey, ain't no harm in talking, right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, and the final question would be, my family is planning to visit the state.
Oh,
Yeah, so we wanted to maybe take a vacation to the state, and now before I'm planning towards the application, and I will get in touch with you for that one too. And
I'm going to give you a little tip on that.
okay.
The processing timelines in Canada for a U.S. visa are very long. So
Okay,
where are you from originally? Where's your home country?
from Ghana.
Oh, you're from Ghana. Okay.
Yeah.
So it might be, and I don't know whether you're planning to go back to Ghana anytime soon on a vacation, but the processing timeline for the U.S. visa in Ghana is likely going to be shorter than it is here.
Okay.
It's not actually. Let me restate that. You're waiting for an interview. is what you're waiting for.
Yeah, yeah,
So what I like for people to do is if they're going back home for a vacation or something, I like for them to time their US visa application for that. Because if you're inside Canada, now if you've got a year to wait, then we can start now, because that's what we're
yeah,
talking about. We're
yeah.
talking about a
Because
year wait.
Ghana, the queue is long. Ghana, the queue for getting the
But
interview.
Canada is over a year.
Maybe I heard from guys, I heard from friends that maybe in Nova Scotia, some other places, there's no more queue, and maybe I never
Okay,
mind.
maybe.
I drive a lot, so I can
Okay.
hit the road, yeah, with
Well,
the family.
it sounds like we have a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
All
DM
right,
you. My name is
Kelo.
Raymond, so we'll take it from there.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
Nice to talk to you, Raymond.
Now
Yeah,
that
nice talking to you.
we know your real name,
Yeah,
hopefully too.
yeah. This is
All
the
right,
company
Raymond.
name is Carol Ray. Alex, thank you very much.
No, it's always great to interact, and please
Yeah.
refer more people to Mala. And
Sure. I've been referring her to. We have a Ghana page. Always I send her her information to the Ghana page. So yeah, as for that one, I follow you a lot, so I have a lot of your videos. So I drop it on the Ghana page. Yeah.
Thank you for that. I'm grateful for that.
Thank you.
That's very nice. All right, we've reached the end of this session. I'm very happy that we've achieved a lot, and it's been so successful. Thank you, Mala, for
Alex,
the time.
thank you. Always a pleasure to talk to you and your group.
This is so expensive. I don't know how much we would pay for this consultation, and I always tell people, consultation is very, very expensive, especially here in Canada. So if you get a chance to utilize such things, such sessions, we should get into the depth of everything. I'm happy for the African diaspora and the African community back home. Thank you for always following. Please follow Mala Brooke. She has a lot of testimonies from different people. She's been physically here in 2 of our sessions, and she always comes back over and over again. So if you're looking for the facts and the true information without hidden budgets or hidden fees, please just go to Mala Brooke and make sure you get yourself the best. I'll ask you, Madam, to give us a closing remark, especially with regards to people of African descent, and also final advice, and then we shall close this session for today.
Thank you, Alex. First of all, and I say this many times, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that you invited me last year. It's always proof that if you ask people, they will actually come. And, for me, I'm always happy to share what I know with as many people as possible. So what I will say and what I do hope is Alex and I will keep this going, expand it more. Alex, I would love to do this live. Okay. I was just in Toronto, happy to come back. I have a son that's graduating high school soon. It looks like he's going to be going to school back east. So I think I will be spending more and more time on the East Coast. But from what I've seen today, there's an opportunity for us to just kind of keep these sessions going. The more people that we can reach with real information, the more people that we can protect. Because I'm not going to give you the answer that you want to hear. I'm going to give you what I know you need to hear. And then once people know the truth, then you can really make an informed decision about what you want to do next. Because there are many pathways to Canada, but some of them require work. You can't just throw money at things and expect it to materialize. So what I'm looking forward to is helping to expand your community and give people what they need. I feel as if all of us are called to do something. And being a Black person of African descent in Canada, I do feel a lot of the time we don't get the information that we need. We don't have the advocates inside Immigration Canada that we need. And we have to punch harder to get what we want. I will say now, one thing I will say about Canada is that unlike the United States, they do have a strong policy that does not discriminate based on race. For example, there's doctors and nurses coming in from countries all throughout Africa. I'm able to bring in students from all throughout Africa. If the application is a strong one, okay, then Canada wants you here. That I will say is true for them. But every now and then there may be a situation where there is an anti-Black systemic racism angle. And once you shine a light on it, I've done that before with a client, all of a sudden it's approved, right? They don't want to hear that. So what I want to be is of service. And Alex, thank you so much for all that you are doing for your people, for your community. You're extending beyond your own country, which is what all of us in the African diaspora are called to do. Not just to help people from where we're from, but people, we're all brothers and sisters, right?
Very true, yeah.
All brothers and sisters. We have to help each other. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. I know I'll be seeing more and more of you and all of your group members.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that. And that's for you.
Aww. Blessed Sunday to everyone across the world, and happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers that celebrate. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So everyone that has been here, it's been an honor having such a person, and I'm happy that we have achieved a lot once again, and I'll let her go so we can use these few remaining minutes to discuss what we have learned from this session and how best we can handle. And if you want direct consultations, please go to Marabrook. I want to remind you that this show or this live was sponsored by African Descent Ontario and Xavier Marketing Agency. They are all based here in Canada. So if you're planning on coming, if you're planning on coming to Canada through a conference, African Descent Ontario is organizing events, and the current is the annual African Descent Summit, which is happening this July. If you've not yet prepared for your application, please, this is too late for you. However, we have the November event, which is Art and Culture, 28th November. Please start booking for your invitations. But before you do that, it's better you consult to see your standings and how prepared you are for this conference that is coming. Thank you very much, Mala, once again.
All right.
And I'll let you go. Yeah.
All right. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay. Okay. Good night. Good day. Good night, everyone.
You too, please. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Mala will be going, and I'll take that. So, Vida, please, I have a lot of people from West Africa. Please, if you need help, if you need a consultation, please follow Marabrook and Cover Immigration. You can also go to the website. I was here checking, and it's called Cover Immigration. You can just go put Cover Immigration into your search engine. Cover is COO or COOVER, then immigration. This is a legit entity. You've been asking me which entities we can use to do consultation. This is one of them. Every time you see an immigration consultant coming and interacting with the public, that is very, very important. You have to put in a lot of time understanding these people. I have talked with Mala on a personal basis, and I've got a lot of information from her. Actually, most of the videos that you see, before I even post, I first look at the legalities. And where do I get the legalities from? This immigration consultancy. So let's always go back to that place, and it's very easy. Pay for the consultation, get the help you need, then continue with an application. Make that one short. Learn to make consultation. It is really, really very important. For now, I'll leave you because, like I told you, I have a very busy day ahead. It's a Sunday. Most of the time we do our own gigs. So I'll let you go. I'll talk to Mala next time. If we get something, I think we should be talking about work in Canada. And Ayan, thank you very much. I have a lot of moderators, but Ayan has been so special. Thank you very much. If I use conference to Canada, can I stay back? No, you can't stay. You can't stay. I've been talking about that several times. Conference is a short term. We used to have an option where when you come here on visit visa, you can get a chance of changing from visit to work. But these days, things changed, rules changed. And rules changed because the immigration is evolving. But as that slot got out, there is another slot that came in. We have lots of pathways that you can really handle, Kevin. Okay? So please utilize those other pathways. It's very easy. You now have a chance to ask at least 1 or 2 questions, and you get a reply from an immigration consultant without you paying. So please, instead of asking me directly, because I'm going to tell you the general information, it's better you ask her because she's willing to answer those questions for us. Okay? So at least let's take that one chance, free chance. Then later on, you can pay for consultation, right? So on behalf of African Descent and Xavier, I would like to thank everyone for being part of this session. You tapped, you gave me gifts, you shared, and it's been a fruitful session, right? Okay. Abantu bange mbebaza olw'okubeerako. Waliwo ekintu ekimu kye njagala okubabuulira, y'ensonga lwaki nzize mu Luganda. Mukirealizinze oba mukizuddemu nno abantu bano in visa application. No, I can't help. Kevin, I don't do visa applications, please. But Mala does. Mala Brooke does. So you can go follow her. Abantu baffe. Njagala muwulirize. Mukirabye munno bannaffe abava eri sayidi ya Afrika endala. Sisaagala jjogerako abakyaliko. Naye bannaffe abava eri sayidi Afrika endala eri. Bo balina engeri gye babuuzaamu ebibuuzo eby'enjawulo. Oba mukitegedde? Tolumba. Kwa ekyo nakyo baleka bakimanyi. Balina engeri gye babuuzaamu ebibuuzo nga byanjawulo. Ebibuuzo biri direct, ebibuuzo biri focused, birina point gye bikoonako direct. Abuuza ekibuuzo nga kiri direct. Sigambye muno ebibuuzo bye tubuuza si birungi, naye ebibuuzo bibulamu. Okitegedde? It's all right, T. It's all right. Yeah, bwe batyo babayita by the way, abasinga. naye jjukira tulina kuno abaana baffe baganda baffe abafumbiddwa eyo, so tulina okuwa bakowo baffe ne balamu baffe ekitiibwa. So muwulidde engeri abantu abo gye babuuzamu ebibuuzo. Tulina okupolishinga ennyo okulaba ekirungi. Nina kuno abantu abali abasomye ennyo. Kati nina sister wange, she's almost a PhD graduate from University of Toronto. Ndowooza naawe okirealize nze mbuno abantu bano abava sayidi eri Africa balina ebibuuzo engeri gye babibuuzaamu nga biri direct. Oli eyo kozesa ku Google osobole okubeera muno ekibuuzo kye waali badde ojja wano okubuuza. Dana anonymous okubuuza dinayo simbi kuba abantu babeera frustrated, naye ebizibu tubuuza ebibuuzo nga kugamba nga byogera bintu bingi nnyo okusinga okubuuza ekibuuzo kidirect. Omumulabyo yasembyeyo ali wano naye alina engeri gy'abuuza ebibuuzo, kati eri bamusaba sente za consultation nga tazisobola. Kati yafunye omukisa guno eno windo ng'alina obuulizaamu ebibuuzo ebimatari nga mulabye engeri gy'afulowingamu n'ebibuuzo bye n'akifunamu. Kati naffe tweyigiriza okulaba nga tufuna mu bintu bino mu sessions zino, kubanga ngenda zipuushinga. Kati olabye yennyini asuggestinze muno tutandike okwogera ku ki work, kukola wano. Abasinga muna mubadde mwagala nnyo ekintu ekyo. Tukola tutelengera ba Steve baakajja saawa eno waakajja. So tufube nnyo okulaba nga tukola ki, nga tukwasaganya ensonga eno. Ninda nno muntapinge ntuuke ku 40K mbeesonyiwe bantu bange. So mukwate ku screen eyo tutuuke ku 40K then nkiveemu. Nina mukyala Luyima ow'okutwalira ebimuli bya Mother's Day. Ebimuli byonna byemumpadde wano byonna ngenda bikwata mbikole ki, mbimuwe. So nsuubira akantu ako mukayize era mukeetegereza, mukategedde. So tufube nnyo okulaba. Hi Carol, how are you? Ebibuuzo bye tubuuza tuleme kubuuza ebibuuzo bino simanyi biki. Sagala kwogera ebibuuzo by'abantu. Then nekira abaana abali mu Middle East tosoosa nnaku. Bw'oba obuuza ekibuuzo tosoosa nnaku, soosa qualification zo. You're welcome please. You're welcome Kelly. You're welcome. Yeah. Tosoosa nnaku yo, soosa ekibuuzo. Sengeka ekibuuzo. Kiva nabawadde obudde ne mbagamba musengeka ebibuuzo. Musobole okubeera nga bwe mujja wano ate mubuuza ebibuuzo nga biri straightforward. Ate munyambe ne mugenda mu inbox y'omukyala. Thank you Carol. Ne mugenda mu inbox y'omukyala bambi temubuuza byakwewaayo. Mbeegayiridde tolaga mbeera eyo yakubeera muno gw'oyagala kusuna nga we basumulula. Wano tubagamba abantu abasinga batambula wano ne bajja wano ne bafuna ebizibu byabwe wano ne babeera n'ebiddako. Mu mateeka kikkirizibwa kasita omuntu abeera ng'ayina ensonga lwaki oba ekizibu kikkirizibwa. Bambi temubuuza bibuuzo ebyo, mubuuze ebibuuzo nga birinkinga ku pathways. Canada eno gye mulaba teyalinga bweri. Abantu basobola okunjulira. Nina sister wange ali wano amaze wano emyaka egisukka ne mu 15. Saga kwogera myaka ne egisukka. Naye Canada bwe yali okusinziira we batunnyonnyola ne bweri kati tuyingiddemu abantu abavunzizza Canada. To one extent muno Canada mufuna ekifaananyi kirala ate neno tulina ekifaananyi kirala. Kati tugezaako kulongoosa naye ate tetwagala ate nammwe abali eyo ate mubeere nga ate muvunza buvunza. Kati session zino papa siri nzikolera mmwe aboogera olulimi lwange oba aboogera olulimi abasobola okuwulira olulimi lw'enjogera. nange luno olulimi si purely lwange, nange nalusangawo, simanyi nange gyengwa mu Uganda kwa buli wamu mbeerawo, naye tufube nnyo okulaba nga tuyutilizinga. Kyova olaba African Descent, eyo African Descent gyemulaba erina kukolera Bafirika bonna, naye ffe twesosowaza ne tuddako ebbali eno ne tugamba abaffe basooke bakole ki, bayitewo. Opportunities ne zijja, conferences ennungi ne zijja, ne tuziteekawo ne tubateerawo paasi, mwe ne muddeyo ne muzinga emikono. Mumanyi abantu abo bameka abaguze edda invitation za November 2026 bangi, invitation ziyiika buyisi, bo bali prepared. Naye kati saawa eno omuntu ayinza okugamba nze nnoonya sponsor, simanyi nnoonya muzungu, muganda wange kezo maze nojja moderator. Saawa eno oli Uganda oyagala kufuna kizungu, ne nzibu okujoogera. So mwe mwenna abaagala invitation, bambi nina ebibuuzo ebyokubuuza, jangu mu inbox nkubuuza ebibuuzo byange. Invitation, olaba nze asinga okwagala okutunda invitation, naye ate saagala nnyo okutwala ssente zo naddala ekonomi ya Uganda nzibuzibu. Ekonomi mu Middle East abaana muli eyo mutudde abamu, waliwo eyatemye waliwo abatambuza omugambo buli kiseera bemanyi, mumanyi abatema olugambo lwa muteme peeva, ebigambo bingi nnyo, abantu bali eyo shift bazibajjako oba gundi hours bazibajjako, bali mu accommodation bakoze eki, beebase, babagamba mubeere awo. Naffe byatutuukako nga tuli eyo mu Aljaba, n'otuula okumala omwezi mulamba nga tewali location. Invitation za $350 eza Canada. So olugambo lungi nnyo, mubeere eyo nogera kino kiri, naye ate tetulina solution. Owulira 50% deduction, badde bakuwa obadde ofuna dirhams 2,000 kati bakuwa 1,000 kubanga ne location zennyini onoonye. Abantu abajja nga muyingirira mu security kati ate mu Ugandan shillings zibeera nga kakadde, naye bw'ojja obulungi $400 soogifuna kubanga ninawo invitations ezikyali ku promotion, naye era still ekyo tekikuyinula. Ngenda kubuuza ebibuuzo byange nka standaba nga toqualifyinga sigenda gikuwa. Nali mu Aljaba coin almafrak, naye twatuuka akaseera nga shift teziriiwo, location nga tewali, ng'ebituwo byonna bikalu, nga woweekutte bwoti bakusosola, ogendayo ku location emu abayindi nga bafuuka abayindi. Kati saawa eno tufunye chance, tulina abantu baffe wano, mudda ku TikTok okugikozesa bintu bitakola ki, bitagatta. Oli addaawo kuvuma biki nze newunya n'omuntu annumba kubanga sirina kye ngenda kukolera. Aljaba bagisitula, nawulira bagijjayo n'okugijjayo Abu Dhabi ne bagitwala ne bagikomyawo e Dubai. Nawulira abaana abamu abaali mu gundi, abaali mu construction, manya abaali mu coin ne babatwala mu construction. So ebintu biri real. Naliyo mu 2018, nasembayo kubeerayo mu 2016 when nasembayo beerayo, then nendyoka nzija eno, naye waliyo bannange be nalekayo paka ne babonaabona. So sigamba munno kati eyo mbawa kyakulabirako kubanga nina experience with the UAE, naye kati waliwo abalala bali mu Saudi, waliwo abali e Qatar, waliwo abali mu bifo ebyenjawulo. Abaana bakyusizza n'ensi, n'ava e Saudi n'alowooza muno UAE egenda omukolera ne kigaana, n'ava e Saudi n'amanya, n'ava gundi Bahrain n'agenda Qatar ng'alowooza kye kimukolera ne kigaana. bino ebyolutalo byonoonye buli kimu haitinta, bino ebyolutalo byonoonye buli kimu bannange. So tulina okuyiiya nga tetupapa akasente k'ofunye tokwonoona, mbugenda waka simanyi kateeka mu visa nga ne visa yennyini togyetegekedde. Twetegeke. Sente yiyo siraba lwaki oba ogirwanisa eve mu nsawo yo. Sasula consultation, omukazi wuyo mubaleetedde ali legit. Gw'ogenda n'oyogera erinnya lyange agenda kuwa sente, agenda kuwa obudde, ngenda kufuba okulaba nga mupika tugende mu session eddako ey'okukola work. Agenda gyetegekera, ajja kwetaaga weeks nga 2 ajje wano ng'agenda